to do this. So, folks, hey, I'm still trying to get it ready over here. Still, I'm having one of those days again. I'll be doing things like headphones so you can hear me, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bother with my headpiece this morning. Oh, sorry, afternoon. It don't sound too good at the moment. Uh, Only because I decided to do this already. My tech man is off today. All right, how about you? Yeah, there we are. Sorry, guys. It's a bar. What can I say? It's a bar. Where it's been here, we redesigned the whole house just to accommodate this bar, believe it or not. Yeah, I fidget when I get up here. Seem to be a little quieter today than I normally am. See if I can bring me in a little bit better since I wear all the hats at this place, but I still sound like I'm in a can. Work with me, just bear it. Yes, I have like 4 Chromebooks and stuff going, and I can't get but like one to work. I got 15 mics and I'm using one, so you can imagine it's going to be that kind of a day. I went out, got the groceries, did all that. People are something, I'll tell you. They just something else. They'll run into you, stop in front of you, know where you're going, and they'll go around you and stop in front of you. But then you got the other people. And I always loved going out just to my little local grocery supermarket, Walmart. Yes, this is a whiskey fireball, like my whiskey on the rocks. I'm at the bar, I'm at home. I'm safe as safe can be until I have to actually do something. Which is right after I get on. But these guys will come up yelling, oh, sorry. Was really pulling on that. Yes, it's a floor length. It's really cute with flowers and stuff. And cutest shoes. My husband kind of bought me different pairs of shoes while I wasn't able to walk to incite me to really work out to walk. It's work. There's 2 awesome pairs he bought me. And I'm wearing what we call wedgies. I don't know what everybody else calls them. And then they're studded with big silver butterflies, little silver. It's cute as it can be. And it's plastic, so you can't see it. So you wonder the butterflies look like they're holding the shoe on your foot. That's the way. And they're very comfortable. And I managed to coordinate that today. And I see my headphones are kind of staying on, so I'm just gonna go with it. I get so tired of wearing a headband all the time. It's usually with this, it won't. The headphone just moves. I think my earrings might be anchoring it. I don't know. I'll throw in live chat, see if anybody out there's awake. Hippies unite, I see all kinds of folk on podcasts. And no, I'm not Bob Maher. I've seen Johnny Carson, loving you ever since. Or Joe Rogan, hey babe, News Radio, that was a terrible scene. Love you. Just, I'm not going to have an A-list over here talking to me. I can't get the Z-list to talk to me. Not on camera. They'll sit here at the bar all damn day. They don't bring anything to drink, but they'll drink all damn day. People kill me. I have to kind of cut it to maybe in a couple of months because people can go through some alcohol. Let me tell you. My husband bought me the cutest little thing for Mother's Day. That's cute. And it's still, I have it wrong. Yeah, there it is. And there are all the little whiskey fireballs in there. Yeah, he bought me 2 of them down to the last one out. We got to stock up the fridge. And it fell in the sink, the Spectre. It has a sink and a little marble space. It's a great bar to merchant. And my husband just got it for steal. He thought it was the corner bar. And he filmed it, sent the film to me while he was on the phone. So what do I do? This is in a $7 million house. I said, walk out quietly with the flower. So we had to redo the entire floor. We got new furniture and we got my books out. So, because it's a small home, we downsized, I say that. But now where I would have had my studio, which was the second room, which used to be like my grandson's apartment after he got out of the military in Korea, it was the pandemic. I mean, he just slid in like a day or 2 before they cut everything off. So he stayed with us and we turned the upstairs apartments into rooms, microwaves, refrigerators, all that. Yeah. And you couldn't hardly get my grandson out of there. If it was like me, I enjoyed it in some ways. I mean, you could go to Walmart, you could not go to church, but you could go to Walmart and Target. So, and it's, well, the hell with it, I'll take what I can get. I've heard a lot today, and I can't say I agree with any of it. Can't say I disagree with it, technically. The straightest informers are apparently still being held by us. They still have speedboats and rocket launchers and things like that going on. And I agree. And going to the UN is just worthless. It's been worthless since it was started. And it's been biased since it was started. And the United States has given them more than enough money. We've put more money in the UN every year than 15 other countries. In some cases, maybe every country that's on the list. And when we ask if we can use their base to refuel, and they tell us no, they have a problem with me. I'm also Army veteran, like my grandson, who actually went in because he said Army boots. Cute kid. Chicken, but thank you. Appreciate. Yeah, I'm rocking this look. It's cute, really. My husband has friends that'll come by and get the great job done or what have you. They'll be sitting outside, and I'll end up, he'll yell or ring the doorbell inevitably, and I'll go out. And they're going, "Where are you going?" And they still do it. It's so funny. And my husband keeps telling me she's going to the mailbox. That's how she looks. Did you get your earrings, honey? But we've been married decades, so it's okay. I can handle that. And he's not wrong. But the way we were raised, if you were in public, you'd not go in your bunny slippers and your PJs carrying a pillow and wrapped in a blanket. You just didn't do those things. And it used to say, no shirt, no shoes, no service. Now you walk in there in a bikini, which I did in Florida, but that was a little different. I had a wrap as well, but they were right there at the beach, too. We're down there for spring break. I don't have a fucking car. Just there to get drunk with your boys. Yes, my nickname is Wicked. It's in the title. My drill sergeant, 82nd Airborne Vietnam Airborne Ranger, as a matter of fact, Master Sergeant, my drill sergeant, gave me that nickname. Now, back in our day, we didn't even have Xerox. If you wanted to copy, you used carbon paper. I hoped you didn't miss one because you couldn't get it off the oven. There was no Xerox. You used manual typewriting. You've seen it probably in black and white movies. We were using those for 7. When I got to my duty station at Fort St. Houston in San Antonio, it was my first duty station. And I was in hog heaven because 3 battalions had fought over. And when I got there, I was at the Academy of Health Sciences, and I ran the Nursing Science Division. I ran it, and I had just turned 18 as I got there, right around them. And I walked in there, they're all officers, and there's paperwork piled up. I'm in this huge room, like a banquet hall, and I'm looking at these guys going, what is this? And this is all of the things that need to be caught up per doctor, per patient, cataloged, organized, typed in, yada, yada. And they expected it to take me like 3 years, and I had them all done in 2 months and ready to go. Because this was a teaching hospital, UT was, and the University of Texas, Health Science Center. So there was, each time you had a class come through, these tests are there, and on the other side, I'm doing neonatal for gestational diabetes on women who were only diabetic during pregnancy. Why it's called gestational diabetes. Working with these parents and their newborns and teaching them the good combos, which back then was how to check for sugar. And so I was running. And we were also attached to the VA on the other side. So I was, running 3 hospitals, going through, making sure tests were in for everybody that was taking the test for the doctors. Before you talk about a low bar, oh my God. We won't go back there. One of these days I read the book, published author. You check me in the description. It just go by Wicked. We'll be good. We're at the bar. Come join me. Can't do that soon. Hit comment, hit on live chat. I'm up. I try to get up here between 12 and 4 nowadays because I had a date signed. A time and a date when I first started doing this a few years ago. And I had a severe accident and I was immobile. And so I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't on anything. I just didn't have the stamina to do it. It hurt too bad to do anything but kind of lay as still as I could most of the time. So that was a rough year. It was a whole year before I could finally get up and stand on my leg. And surgeries were like 15 hours. And I make jokes that I have more metal in my leg than most cars. It was cute, though. It was cute. I think it's also cute. I get NyQuil if I'm running out and I'm all stuffy. And it's because of the flora and fauna here, and I get NyQuil. These guys all know me. That's what I was saying at Walmart. You get a couple of rude ones, but you get those that go running over. Where'd you get that? That's so pretty. Yeah. So some of them know me. It's like Cheers, the old sitcom Cheers. Well, I'm over here. Okay. I go this way. Where'd you get that? What are you doing? And they all knew when I came back, started coming back, I was in a wheelchair and went through the steps, but I could not get out because the surgeons and all that had set things and moved things and bolted things. And so finally I could get in the wheelchair, and a little bump didn't make me scream as much. As my son, my grandson, they weren't there, and not one time they were an exit from me. I was still so hurt by that. Neither of them will look at my podcast. I don't know what that's about, but they don't. My husband is the same way. He won't watch it, and he won't participate in it. And I've lost half my channel when I got so injured. I had to take that channel and say, okay, I'm not going to do that. It's still available if you want to see it. You're safe with Wicked Lady Hippy, or It's Me. You'll see the photo. And then I changed it here, second channel. So if you see me, hit the like, hit the dislike, tell me shut up. Anything's good for what they tell me. I don't know. I do this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I used to do 7 days a week. But now it's just 3 days a week, and even that's hard for me to do. You can only say, for me, the injury that I sustained is, even with everything being nailed together, and literally there's a 9-inch nail in there, so. And so you're still incapacitated at my age if you're on it too long. And when I run out and I go off to the grocery stores and all that, by the time I get back, I've done walk 4,000 miles, which my husband keeps wanting to cut up my debit card for. Jeez. There's just all kinds of stuff that you're hearing about all these elections. I wondered if there was any news. You know, it says CNN News and MSNBC News. And, okay. A new volcano came up out of some ocean. I can't remember which one. Might have been the sea. Tokyo's been getting earthquakes, I think, from investigating through the net, that they have suffered 6 something and up to 7 shocks in the past, week or so. And I keep thinking, where are you? This is supposed to be a news organization. Y'all ain't talking about the shit. It's just biblical. Go look at Revelation. The other thing, I was like, oh my God, the people are still there. Off the coast of Santorini, they got several thousand underwater shocks a day, and then suddenly it stops. Well, Santorini used to be Thera, and it used to be one big island. And when the volcano, it blew up. It took out the Minoan civilization, the Mycenaean, and all that was gone. We didn't find them until, I think it was 19th century, might have been late 19th century, early 20th century. We found the cities, and these guys were something else now. I mean, we found the oldest throne that they've ever found. They had 2 and 3 story places. They had running water. They didn't have lights and all of this technology, but just one little thing goes wrong, and we don't either. I keep wondering, what y'all gonna eat when Walmart don't? And then we had the hurricane come through, Helene. The day I was due to have my first surgery. This thing had spawned so many tornadoes. One went right through my backyard, and it took out the forest. We had almost 2 acres of finally forced it, and I like that. It was privacy. And it took out most of that. It took 4 huge, ginormous trees and put them down in my yard. And somehow we didn't hit any neighbors with those trees, and it didn't hit us. It hit my hot house and destroyed it. That was the only thing. And my husband rescued most of the plants. I couldn't believe it. Out of that, it's just splintered in it. He's out there with a chainsaw, and other people are seeing that he's doing. They're asking if he can help them, and they'll pay him. And he turned it into a job for like 2 years for him because word of mouth. And he wasn't spent. You don't have to pay him $4,000 to get that tree cut up and out of your way. But he was horrific, and we had Augusta was dead to the world. We had shit. There was on the day we called again, they were calling me too about getting to the hospital for surgery, and then it was canceled finally, just before we started trying to get through it. There were tornadoes all around us. You could see it from the debris path. I used to be a storm chaser back when they didn't have all this. You just had a 110 camera and you were shooting shots and hope they came out, because you wouldn't know for 3 or 4 weeks until it developed it, and then they charged you for the black ones that didn't work, and so you had 2 that were okay, so they charged you for the whole 30. This generation doesn't have any idea, no clue, and I'm straddling 2 centuries. And I get people all the time telling me, you don't look your age. I said, why are you carved my ass? Like I said with the knife, well, they all know me. And this guy and a girl, there were 2 of them, they come running over going, well, we've got to see your ID. You can't have that cold mess. And I'm like, I didn't say I didn't have an ID. That's only for when we're voting. But I remember trying to pull it out and said, see, it's a state secret, because I was a waitress at the Last Supper. They didn't know whether to laugh, cry, go away. I love fucking people over. Come up with me like I didn't want to give you. You can see on my face I wasn't 21, you jackass. It's not like I look 12. I'm a little short for my size, but you can see that. A friend of mine went with me one time. The same thing happened. They came up and asked to see, and it was a male. Came up and asked if I had, ID, and I showed my ID. Then I had a friend with me who come down from Warner Robins, Georgia, below Macon. And she had come up to Augusta to see us. And she said, I think he wants your number. I said, all he's got to do is look, it's on the thing. She said, you got a phone number? I said, yeah, it's programmed in there. I'm a Plus member and all of that, and they have all my information, yeah. I don't even have to print the receipt. I just send it to the email, because they've got my phone and they've got my email. And she was like, wow. I was like, yeah, really, from a hippie, but it's so convenient. It really is. It's just convenient, and everybody does it. And there's been a lot of different talks at my house, too, different keggers that I've thrown in my day. I was like the queen of keggers when I was in the Army. I think they're writing another book. In any event, I would love to see the hippies jump in here, comment, live chat, do something. Hello. I don't make any money doing this. I just get up here and get drunk and tell you hippies need to unite again. We are not working, or like my husband, he works at home, and he really does most days. He's working from 8 in the morning till 11 at night. And I keep going, why are you doing this? You're retired. But so-and-so's engine and so-and-so's train, yeah. So, and now he has to take a look at my car again. He just fixed my car. I forget what it was, but he fixed my car. And he always gets me a car with the title and everything, and insured. I don't have to do anything but get in and drive it. And I'm never sure where the gas tank is. And he told me 100 times, here it is on your console, and where it pops up, you see the little gas thing? That's the sign it's on. And every time I miss it, I'll pull in and turn around. I got a little black Chevy Cruze is what he got me. And I love this little thing. And that boy's talking about selling my car and get me, it was newer. I think one was an Impala, and it's going, it's a much better car. I'm like, I like my little runabout. I do. I call it Kit. It talks to me. My phone calls come through there. And it's not big. I used to drive an old 98 Cadillac. When I gave that up, I broke my heart. But you really have to spend a lot of money to fix a Cadillac. And she'd been with me for 15 years, so it was time, probably over 15, to let her go. Oh, I hated it. And then the guy that bought it, he had gone in and kind of redone everything, repainted everything, and it was like, oh. And it was the same color. It looked exactly like it did when my husband bought it for me. But he always made sure that he gives me the car. It's paid for. He's bought me 2 new cars, and I didn't like payment. So he goes, don't get her that. Get her one that is paid for. And then, he, like I said, he goes, I'm going to take my car. I was like, no, leave the fuck alone. I got to get my license redone this month. It seems like I just did this. I don't know why, but I thought today was Sunday on top of that. So I'm running around, I was trying to get ready to run to the store. So you have to park the background because I do things and I clean it all up, and the next day there's cats. And cats have a tendency to go right where you cleaned. So everything's scrunched up, pulled up, moved over. So every day I'm in here Windexing and polishing and oiling wood. It's all cherry wood at the bar. I use a special wax for it. And I can't do it all at once. Now, before my injury, I did. I nursed my husband through stage 4 throat cancer. And even the nurse that we had here, the hospice nurse, told her, you're alive. And you know why? Her. She made sure you didn't even come near a germ. And I did. Every day, his room was done every day. Sheets, things pulled up. That's part of it, you know. I clean sheets and clean bedding and clothes. You have to do that every day. Washing his hair, doing all this stuff, clean all the house, Lysol and bleach down every day. So I was up at 6 and I was done by 10 or 11. And I did that for 2 years. And then we had the year thing with me, which was not the same at all. I would finally go, look, dude, it's been 3 weeks. You think you could change these sheets while I stand here in some of the closet? And he would just fuss. And we have cats that we have to take care of outside. We have a few inside now that we actually passed, their parents are, we think passed away, but they were just tiny, had to open their eyes, and we bottle feed them. And we're stuck with them because we're mom and dad. So, and we don't have the heart because we throw them outside. And all of them have been neutered and all that. So they can't reproduce. But like I said, we just didn't have the heart. And out here, we have a kill shelter. So if they're pregnant, they're brought in, they're killed immediately. I think they give them 6 or 7 days, if not. So we couldn't and you can get the cages, and they trap them, and you bring them up, and you have them neutered, and you bring it back. It's called catch and release. And you can't find anybody in the Augusta County that will do that. You have to go to South Carolina County. But you don't live in South Carolina, so they can't do it. You're like, so I finally found one, but I can't afford to get the ones outside then. And I don't think I can catch them, and I don't want to frighten. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Most of we bought our son's starter home. That's why we had the downside so long. He had, at that time, a 13-year-old and was surprised with a baby girl on the way. So they bought a brand new home that was just being built. And we took the starter home because they had to sell it or they couldn't make what do. And now they want to get 10 acres and they want to put the grandparents, on the end of the 10 acres and build a house in the front of the 10 acres. Well, I was like, well, you didn't ask, but okay. And he was like, no, you don't have to pay rent or anything. I'm like, no, I pay rent where I go. I don't care if I live with you or not. If I'm not paying rent, I'm joining none of you out your money. He knew me better than he knew Robert better than my husband. So they're supposedly looking at these things. I have no idea how much time I'm going to be given to open again and move. I've moved my whole life. This is the longest place I've stayed. And it's 15 years. Longest place I've ever come home. So it took my breath away when they just dropped that bomb and said, we're selling everything because we don't have it finished. The mortgage is not finished. So they still own it. It was a nice scam, wasn't it? We paid over $100,000 for the home now. And that's it. It's gone. We're to move when they get whatever it is they're putting together. But they don't know how long they'll take. It might take a year, and they might call tomorrow, so you got to move. We don't know. Are we upset? Well, Would you be? That's my only child. That's my son and his wife, my two grandchildren. Never expected to have a child. He was born in Heidelberg, Germany. I was carrying an M16 with one hand and my kid with the other. I kid you not. I was still in the army. You had to report, and I'm waiting for the babysitter in full gear. It was different back those days, though. It really was. You played hardball army. Where I was stationed outside of Heidelberg, Carlsberg. Carlsberg was a great place. And so anyway, that's the kind of thing I had in my life. We were the first women to train with the regular army. We were the first company. The WAC Corps had been disbanded apparently while we were in midair because we landed with Vietnam Airborne Rangers as drills who told us you could sign this piece of paper and you can go home and we won't hold nothing against you, whatever. I think they even had a bonus or something. And we girls just kind of looked at each other and went, yeah, we're good. We want to play with guns too. We think the women should be there. For one thing, we thought that nurses, no matter who they are on the battlefield, should have training as a soldier. And it shouldn't be any different training than what the men have. Because otherwise, they get shot with friendly fire, or we do. But we had 5 companies of women and throughout the battalion. 1 company of women and 4 company men. And women love to dance. So calling cadence, sustaining rhythm, we were damn good. Cleaning something up. Are you kidding me? You could eat on those floors. There was never, and I was relentless because I was stupid and I went in with rank for various reasons. Most people, in fact, nobody that I ran into in many years in the military came in and even had a chevron. So you were just a trainee. You were GI, government issue, you were trainee. I wasn't. That was the other thing that got me. It was the wicked in the fact that I was from Chicago, so it was wicked. And my typing skills, he says, oh, this is wicked. You got to get deep. My typing skills is all this stuff there. And he had needed somebody because he's the drill. He needed somebody to put all this shit together. And we did a lot of paperwork, guys, back in the day. It wasn't just scanning. No, that's not. I wish we would. You guys have it easy now. Unless something goes wrong, you have to go back to analog and you're going, circles around you. So hippies unite. This is my whole point. Get in here and say, we fought many wars now. We have fought many wars. It didn't stop at Vietnam. It didn't stop with Iraq. It really didn't stop after Afghanistan. It didn't stop in Iran. It hasn't stopped in D.C., where one of my soldiers was struck and killed when she had volunteered to do her route. She was National Guard, helping to patrol the Capitol. She died in the Capitol saving people, shot to death by her own countrymen. On her own country. In fact, the capital of that country. I don't hear her name anymore. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Why? Who left that window open? There was one place you could get Charlie Kirk that day. One room. They said, oh, the university had that. And the police had that. No, fucking didn't excuse me. No, it's just not for children. And the sergeant shows up once in a while. I'm like, you didn't prepare. Oh, we dropped the ball. What ball? You didn't know this fucking ball? You left the window open. You left the window open. You know fucking straight up that was. And then the guy uses the World War I rifle. His granddaddy gave me. He's a fucking fluffy. He gets out there. Even I could see the left. He gets out there. They release a grainy steerway photo. One shot, one kill with an old weapon that he put a scope on, and he wasn't that into guns even. And left the brass, and he left the extra brass that he had etched in it. And of course, they finally got the guy. I'm still not believing it. I sat down, I came in from grocery shopping, it was on the TV, and I just kind of hit the floor almost. I was like, this smacks so much of JFK. And I could not, for the life of me, understand why I had said that. And when I was growing up, that was the thing I always looked into. Every summer, every school year, that was my thing. His son, John Jr., and I were the exact same age. And I wanted to know, too, what had happened to this brilliant man, this war hero. And yes, He was Reed PT 109. He was definitely a war hero, and of course got the Purple Heart and others. Yes, he was a hero. And he too was massacred. He was assassinated. I don't really want to talk about it. I've slowed it down so many times I can still see if I just close my eyes, I can see the shot that took him. And it wasn't from the book suppository, not the shot that took him. They say now you've got the whole thing. I don't need the whole thing to know what's going on. Most of them gave their confessions before they bothered to pass away. Most of us knew it to begin with that it had to be the government. It had to be. Who else knew his route? Oh, they said this person, no. The same with President Trump. Hi, Donnie. Love you, babe. If you can call Kid Rock Bob, I'll call him Donnie. I like him. He's funny as hell. Kid Rock, love you, babe. Just a few that I shout out to. I'd love to see that on the bucket list. Barack Hussein Obama. I loved weekend at Bernie's for 4 years. Your pen was working his ass off. I bet they ran out of ink every half hour. Who's buying the next one? Choose. Added some juice today so I wouldn't have too much of a problem with it. Then I got some juice anyway with a little bit of sugar. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is my off time. And yes, I have things to do after I get off. Lots. And since I've retired, I said, I'm going to do things that I'm going to be off by 5. I mean, dinner done, dishes done, everything done by 5. So I have downtime before I go to sleep. And the closest I've gotten so far is 7:38. And I keep saying, retired from fucking what? I thought, like I said, I thought today was Saturday. I was sure it was Saturday. Somehow I missed a whole day. And then it was scrambled to put everything together in the studio. Like I said, I broadcast from the bar. So what you see is what you get. It's a big bar. There's like, you can seat 6. And the room is lined with sofas and stuff. And we left kind of an open space in the 2 rooms so that it really opened up the bottom floor. So come see me. I'm in Augusta, Georgia. Send me a comment, send me a live chat. Let me know what's going on. We can Zoom call. You can just get your ass up here on live chat. Hippies unite. Do you know what they're trying to do to us? It's going to take some problems. They need to get right with God and Jesus if they're coming for either my Bible or my weapons. Because it ain't going to be a good day, and they're going to have to talk to Jesus and God about why they're stupid enough to go up against an old lady with that much mischief. I know, they frown on that. Unless it's them saying, oh, Hitler's a Nazi shooter. Technically, they've tried to assassinate him 4 times. They don't count Mar-a-Lago because he wasn't there and they shot the guy dead. I think that on the live thing, fuck that. They shot him dead. And that's an attempt at the president's life. Graciously, he was not there. He was shot in Philadelphia. The fireman who jumped over the bodies of his wife and children was shot and killed. There were 2 others that were shot and seriously wounded. Nobody even talks about them. President Trump tried to keep the firemen who died in people's memories, but even he couldn't keep up with doing that. And boy, as he changed the Oval Office, it looked like a garage sale was put together in there. I mean, I used to go in there and go, God, this is the Capitol. I'd be ashamed. You know what I mean? It's just, you got a new desk. The rest of the shit's staying. It was awful. Excuse me. And I love the mugshot, Donnie. I love the mugshot. Loved you on Prince of Bel-Air when you did that walkthrough. That was pretty good. Or Home Alone 2. That was pretty good, too. There's no filters on Donnie. That's why I like it. If you got filters, you're an actual politician. If you're an actual politician, you can kiss my faded old ass. I got that for you. All of this, and we said, oh, we're going to get the man. We're going to legalize marijuana. Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I love how they bring it to your door. And now the VA, they want to fuss a little bit. They want to make it a controlled substance. They can't. It's not a controlled substance. Not what they sell now. Now, if you're raising it, then it's marijuana. But if you're doing it the other way, it's cannabis. Don't ask me what the physical properties are. I know they work really good. The gummies are awesome. I like the pre-rolled. I'm like Bill Maher there. I keep them in cigarette case. Hey, Bill, still love you. Just call me. He's probably never going to be in Georgia if he's smart. I know the Augusta Masters does do a lot of, well, people with more money than the rest of us. Unfortunately, there's a lot of those who look down on people who don't have the money that they do. They ought not do that because the money that they made that we don't have is because we gave it to them. Same with the politicians. If one more fucking politician gets in my face and tells me, well, you're taking your grandson to pay your Social Security, I'm going to beat him to a pulp. And then I'm going to give him a Tylenol because that's what they gave me. You don't need to go to the hospital. I ain't broken. Well, your nose might be. But again, they found that. I really should write a book. I got a couple stories. I'm 5'2" and weighed 100 pounds my whole life. And as I've hit past the into the 60s now, that again is a state secret. Yes, thank you. I do look good with this, don't I? I didn't give up. And I still don't. There's a 72-year-old who's model, and she's sharp. She's just sharp. Been into the Chinese drama lately. Ladies, I got into these when I was first bedroom. You have so got, look it up on search on YouTube. Swear to God, you will thank me later. There's some pretty girls, don't get me wrong. Those boys. They must have raised them right. I don't know where they're coming from, but it's like the best looking dudes I've ever seen coming out of a woodwork. They got like 89 episodes to watch, and like Untamed. You should watch Untamed. There's just a list of them. And, oh boy, they're great. And you know, they're flying through the air and they're using swords. And I mean, you know, it's almost like the elves kind of parody, but they're good. They're very good. And they put a lot of work into it. They get hurt a lot. And I've got my group already, you know, since it's been a couple of years now. So, you know, look up Chinese drama and check it out as they throw some in there. If you want more, what I do is I hit it and then I come out of search and then go ahead and look at that one and I'll pull it up and then I'll close it and pull up many more that way. Once you get out of search. And I'm hooked. I'm just hooked. I watch one in the living room. It's English stuff. You want, because otherwise you have to watch the TV. And with theirs, they have it in English, but it's so in like the brilliant white of their clothes, you can't see it. So it's sit your CC, you know, make sure you have closed captions in there. I would love to hear about it if anybody does. And they have the period costumes, and that seems to be coming back, the Hanfu thing. There's a couple of 7-footers, a girl included, God, she's gorgeous, that are running around Hanfu. And now that it's so a thing there that anybody who is, you know, checking things out, they can go in and they will make them into a character from, you know, the past, China. And if I wasn't so old, I'd have done moved over there. That voice, woo. Yeah, I didn't even know the anybody looked that good. I'm going by Xi Ji or whatever, you know, the president is. No, ladies, you gotta go what? And then you gotta thank me. You gotta get back up here and go, I was right. I don't have lunch, I don't do any of that stuff. Maybe I should open it up, but I just don't. When I don't get anybody up here, I hesitate to do all the work. Because I don't know if you're watching it and then just not saying anything, because you can do that. So I hope that we hippies can unite. I hope this is the Woodstock of the 21st century. Bring it on, guys. Let's show them what a hippie thinks. Because I get you. I got you. I know everybody's scared the man going to come for them. They're going to hit you with the Incritex. They're going to hit you with the... Babies, we've been doing that for 40 years now. It's time for us to go against the man. And I don't mean face-to-face or with weapons. I mean just get up and talk like we used to do at our parties, like, you know, the keggers. And it's come true now. Everything we talked about back in those days, drunk as fuck. Used to throw them in the parking lot at Fort Sam Houston. We was all fucked up. If it was Friday night, you can find us wherever the beer was. So now I drink whiskey. I know there's some out here I was praying that you would see me and that you would come out. You don't have to support me or any of that stuff. Just kind of click on and go, oh, damn, she's nuts. But if not, you want to talk, let's do something, you know. And if you're in the Augusta area, I would love to host you here. This is a modest home. It's really overdone because of the bar, which came out of a $7 million house. But it's a, you know, we're on a fixed income. We're both retired, but we like it. But you know, it's just a small home. So, and I keep praying that I'm going to get a text from Bill Maher going, hey, lady, I'm coming over. I'm hoping he gets a really good hotel room and brings his people so he can run the podcast because mine won't be good. So this is what I'm trying to face. Or either one of you people, you know, that I had some live chat going on last weekend, but not so far today. Well, we had two come up. And yeah, you've got paranormal has been begun, claimed as didn't exist, it doesn't exist, it does exist. Do your homework. It is, okay, when there's a dude in front of you, you're a cop. And we give it, I had a favorite. The girl had hit a telephone pole. And the officers, two of them, come up to her window and say, can you roll the window down? She said, she wanted to, thank you, officers, and roll it back up. She kept doing that for like 10 minutes. Finally, they said, you got to get out of the car. You've hit a tree, or well, you've hit a pole. Come out of the car, and we need to run your information. She gets out of the car. And they try to do the sobriety test, and she can't do that. So they tell her, we're going to have you blow into the breathalyzer, because you can't do the exercise. We don't want to put you in jail unless we have to, so do you mind doing this? Sure thing. She blew on it. It was like 96. And they're like, this thing doesn't go to that. Could you try that again? She did. It was like 140. And they're like, this must be broken. She said, what number do you want? By then, she's backed up to the car. She had been, I'd say, 6, 8 feet beyond her car by the cops. And they're just shaking their heads looking at this thing. She goes back, and I see her, she's starting to levitate. And she did it kind of like this. And they yelled, you can't leave it. This girl is 4 feet off the ground. And she kind of looks at him and goes, she flew out of sight. And these guys are like, how the fuck are we going to tell the commander this shit? And that's just one of them. You can't say it's not paranormal. They did find that this particular car had hit this pole 8 years prior by a young lady. I forget her name now, but they said her age. She was like 26, 27, on the way home from a party on the drunk. And the girl was certainly drunk and having a good time fucking with them cops. I've seen cops chase the car, they've got him as a chain link fence, they know they got him. How do you get around the fence? I mean, what the? And they can see it, they can't get through the fence. This bitch got through the fence. There's tons like this now. Donnie, President Trump has released a bunch of UFO information that he's got from the military. I give him credit. You know, nobody's running around, we're going to die. Pay attention. You might, you never know. That's my husband going in and out the front. That's my husband again in the camera. Like I had COVID. And what was the other topic everybody touched on? That must have been. Okay, I'll look at them after. Cool. Well, that's my card, right? Baby gave me a card, one of them. I don't know, you put money cash cards. And he got me a new one because he got a neat one and I liked it, so he got mine for me. So I'll have to get to that today. I've also got to reschedule a VA appointment that I mixed days up on and missed. I had time to actually that night put down I couldn't make it. You know, they leave the old text. And I had brought brownies last time I went in there, and I said, okay, maybe they won't shoot me because I brought brownies. So I'll make cupcakes when I go back. Gotta get another appointment today. And I'm running out of time to do that. What do we got here? Yeah, we got about time at the end. Wait, wait just a second. Here's live chat. No, really, yeah, we love all that stuff. Are you in the Augusta area? No. Can you send it up as Zoom or you want to go through comments and live chat? Okay, we can do that. Okay. Yeah, well, which one do you want to pick? Paranormal has a lot of evidence. There's a whole lot you could find out. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me get back to you because this is a terrible thing that's happened, and I will talk to you about this in a little bit. I am sorry for your loss. Anybody else up in there? We've got the poltergeist activity, and we had a little bit. A few of you came out and wanted to know because I kept saying things were biblical, what I was talking about. And there's all kinds of stuff that's biblical. I saw a camel swimming in the Sahara Desert 4 months ago. It was the camels. There was a row of camels swimming in the desert. That's kind of biblical. I saw locusts that swarmed a school bus so bad they had to sit there while these things tried to eat it. And, kids screaming. Because she couldn't drive the bus that was so, she couldn't see it. There were so many bugs. And it stripped everything for something like 80 miles, I think it was. Finally, they could move because they had moved on. But that's biblical. I know it's the 21st century, and AI can do this, and AI can do that. Anybody watch iRobot, for God's sakes? 2010 Space Odyssey? Okay, Ron, open the bay doors. Open the bay doors. I remember that one. iRobot scared the piss out of me. It was worse to me than the Terminator because these little robots were all nice. They got grandma locked in and shit. And I'm like, oh, because like I get to play the role of grandma now. I never expected to do that, so it's quite a shocker to me. My husband, he's really good at kids. He's very good at kids. And he usually bails me out, but he knows. She's got a drink. She's not fucking with that kid. Give me her. I'm not good. My grandson says you don't like people. Now, my IQ is over 190. And it's difficult to talk to folk that have never left the county. Their biggest education was the 9th grade. Never been to a dance, they've never been to anything. Comedy club, they didn't work, they just at home, they had 15 kids. I'm with signs going, here you go, that's stupid, here you go. So I'm not well liked among the remaining family of my husband's side. My family, both the biological and adopted family, I am the last remaining survivor, although they all passed the cirrhosis. And yes, I'm sitting there having one of my husband's drinks. He's kind enough to get it for me, and I enjoy these very much. He bought me my Scottish crest because we didn't know. I kept saying, you see the Irish, Scottish, and British, all of the above. Have strawberry blonde hair, hazel eyes, and really the skin that just fries in the sun. And I was with a sister who was dark as could be. My dad used to call her his little Dago, and she used to get so pissed. But they kept saying I was Native American, and I kept saying, no. And finally I did the DNA thing, and no, I was not at all. I don't know if my sister was, because she passed by then. But I was not. I was a complete British stock. And I was shown a picture of the father before the biological mother got too ill. And I looked just like him. It was like a female version of him. This was taken of him in his 30s, and I was in my 30s by then. And then she passed away. And it turned out that all the people I met who were supposed to be biological, like aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, the lot of them, were all two-faced son of a bitch and hypocrites. Every fucking one of them. Dudes, I had more knives in my bag than a fucking porcupine. I mean, serious to God. If anybody needed knives, I could have armed an entire city. And to your face while they're stabbing you in the back. I love that part. So for the last 15 years, I haven't bothered with any of them. And for the next 15 years, I won't be bothering with any of them. No, that karma's we're good. We're good. Yeah, I don't need that no more. So, yeah, so all of you people, And I see these on shows. I'm going to look for my family. Don't do it. Oh, my family looked me up. Run. Turn off everything. Dye your hair. Learn to speak a second language and go there. Don't even get a computer. Fuck a phone. Don't do it. I need to write another book, I guess. Cheers. My husband allows me to have these at the bar. He's very good about this stuff for me. I don't buy these. My husband himself will go, and it doesn't feel good even. And still he'll go to the liquor shop and he'll get me my little whiskey bottles. Always does it. He makes sure I have those. And I don't buy my cigars. My husband does because I knew if I started buying it myself, then yeah, I was going to have a problem, and I didn't want to do that. So they come in. Cigars are $5 back. I forget how many of the other stuff he gets me, but he does, and that helps me a lot up here to talk to y'all. I checked some of the comments yesterday. I mean, I know this is for entertainment purposes alone, but y'all be fucking funny now. I'll tell you some shit. The Oval Office has been changed, and it looks 100 times better than I've seen it look in 40 years. And I was running around in there in the 80s, so I know they're what I speak about. They would change the desk, and it still looked like they had bought it from, Goodwill and furnished the thing, and it was 50 years ago. It looked like shit. They put a tent up just so they could have a nice, dinner for people they're visiting. We've gone to the Windsor Castle, and here are the king and the queen. They come over to visit us, and we've got this little house that we think is so cool. It's not. He's doing that ballroom. Let him the fuck alone. It looks like it's gonna be great. There's no tax money going into that shit. That's all money that's been given by donors that love their country. Shut the fuck up if you don't like it. Nobody asked you to the goddamn ball anyway. So piss them off. Not like I got a ticket either, but I think it's fucking cool. Hippies unite, stand up, stop being afraid. We've already got to the point where we're retired anyway. What are they going to do? Like life hasn't been hard enough? You got people in jail for a fucking blunt. They sell the shit to you out of California and mail it to you in Georgia, but this guy is still in jail for a fucking blunt. It's just like, it gets me. People say, oh yeah, you're in the land of the free, home of the free. No, you're not. You're not. Look it up on Google. Who elects the president, the American president? Who elects, and make that your question, who elects the American president? And it will come up with the Electoral College, which means 3 months before you vote. So you're going to still run out and vote? Donald did this, President Trump. He said, I took all the swing states. I won all of them. And I won the popular vote. That should be disconcerting to a few people because, your vote didn't actually count. The Electoral College voted in, and they voted fucking for you. So how the hell come y'all letting that shit go on anyway? And by the way, it was designed as a secret ballot. Look it up. Google's got everything. Look it up. Show of hands. Yeah. No, look it up. Uh-huh. And this shit started just after they killed Lincoln. They say because some states are bigger, some states are smaller, so they have to be regulated by this. Well, it looks to me like they're not doing the by the people, for the people, of the people. What they used was this little curtain thing you pull behind you to do your secret vote. If you had 15 flags on a hat and a car was big covering it, they said, what is a secret ballot then? Shut the fuck up. They want to know who you vote for. You tell them it's your right not to tell you spit and vote. But don't tell every fucking body in the moon that you're doing it. Then maybe we could clean up a swamp that's been infesting for 150 years. Check the math. Yeah, I love it. My kids do that shit to me now. It's amazing I haven't slapped the piss out of them. Yeah, I know, right? Jamie does show up. Looks like my husband's cooking something in there, bless his heart. It's time for me to pretty much wrap. I just answered that. Okay, a quick rundown. Yeah, the delegates are. That's what gerrymandering is. There are so many delegates per state, and they'll tell you it's a blue state, it's a red state. None of that shit should matter to anybody. You shouldn't be telling folk what you're voting for. That's why that hurts there. It's why the vote's supposed to be a secret ballot. Do it that way. Don't tell your neighbors. Don't put it on your roof. You know, it's the sanctity of the ballot that counts. And all these suckers that are going out here and spending, oh, they outspent so-and-so, they spent $290 billion. Put them in jail. How many of you idiots gave $5? Show your hands. You go to jail with them, you dumb fucks. At what point do you think they don't need a new plane? I love the evangelist. I mean, I love that. He comes back and says he needs more money because he needs a second plane. You bitches paid for a second plane. Y'all need help. Go see a doctor. I could go on forever, but I answered these two and I got to get going. Poltergeist. Not everything is poltergeist. That's German for noisy ghost. And in my infinite days, not all of them are noisy ghosts. They don't have the energy to slam a house, pick it up, and slam it down while throwing everything out of every cupboard and slashing the blinds and all of this, and it occurs in a tenth of a second. That's not a fucking poltergeist. That's a fucking demon. So I would look into some of this stuff. No, don't use a Ouija. I'll tell you now. A lot of us will tell you, don't use a Ouija board. If you do, make sure you have a window open and make sure you close it and make sure you don't break the circle and make sure you use black salt around behind the circle that you're sitting in. And even then, I wouldn't be comfortable. I would not. I've seen so many things in my life, and I don't want to see another one of those. But there's some advice if you want to try it. There's some out there that are, ghost hunters. They probably have to pay. And you can do it on your own. If you're going to smudge your house, that's the same advice that I have. If you're going to smudge a house, open your windows, open your doors, start at the top of the home, and smudge everything, every corner, every closet, every stairwell as you come down, straight up to the front door. And again, I would advise putting the black salt around the outside of the house. You can look all of this up, and there are other measures you can take. Holy water is holy water, and they don't like that. And if it's a poltergeist, you're not going to get it. The only other way, if you're going to invest, and I'm running out of time, if you're going to invest in the paranormal, you want to see. Me, I don't like seeing. Hey, I don't know where this much is, but I'm going to do this. Go in and get a Connect camera, and use that, and it will map. It'll show where this thing is. We can't see it. It's a stick figure, but it's the closest thing that we've got yet to identifying anything that's walking around the paranormal world, which is scary a fucking nut. Not to mention that Donald Trump sent all the UFO files, released them last week, that had been gathered by the military. And at one point, you guys go, "Oh my God." Did none of you see a movie at all ever? Come on, hippies, unite. You know you did. Cheech and Chong was a lot more fun, I agree, but watch Paul. If you're gonna watch an alien, watch Paul. It's fun as hell. But my time is up. I will get back to you guys on comments. I missed a couple. Sorry, guys. I know live chat's now starting to pick up, but I gotta go. I make sure I don't go over an hour each time. So I'm going to bounce and leave it in the comments for me. I'll try to address this evening, doing some editing, probably around 8 or 9 my time. So, toodle pip, everybody.